So this area in particular, Kaziba, again, Kaziba and Me2 are the two regions we're going to work with First Quantum. We just announced that we're starting on Kaziba. So Kaziba has what we call a mobilized oxide blanket, which you just referred to. So it's an area that is right at surface down to maybe 50 or 60 meters. It's detached from the original sulfide source.
All right, welcome back inside our proactive newsroom. Joining me now is Adrian O'Brien. He is the Director of Marketing and Communications for Midnight Sun Mining. And Adrian, good to have you back again. How are you?
I'm doing great, Steve. Great to be back again as well.
Yeah, so the company out with significant news today that you've begun some exploration at your Kaziba target, which is on the Solwezi property in Zambia. So before we get into what you're going to be doing as far as exploration, let's remind everyone a little bit about the project itself.
Yeah, for sure. So we're in the heart of the Domes region of Zambia, right? And that is a really globally significant region right now. If you ranked global exploration areas for copper, this is literally ground zero and probably the top place in the world to be looking for deposits. The reason being, I mean, you can look at the region. You have First Quantum, you have Barrick, you have Rio Tinto, you have Anglo, and of course now KoBold, backed by Bill Gates, is our partner on part of our property. And so, you have all of the big global players in the region. And the reason is really simple. If you look globally at deposits that are being developed or that have been found in the last few years, there is an absolute lack of new deposits coming on stream. Very, very few, if any, that could be globally impactful, and largely due to the fact that the easy kind of, low-hanging fruit have been picked. The deposits that are out there now are very difficult, they're deep, they're expensive, and this is a region where the deposits not only have critical mass, typically these are 1 billion tons, which, to put that in perspective, I mean, that is absolutely enormous on a global scale. These are some of the biggest deposits in the world. For example, Ivanhoe's Kamoa-Kakula is right above us. That's 1.4 billion tons at almost 3% copper. First Quantum's Kansanshi mine is beside us. That's 1 billion tons at 0.66% copper. I mean, these are massive, massive deposits. And we are completely surrounded by all of those. We are in the heart of the Domes region. We're the only group that's really there with a big key property. And so when you look on a global scale, this is an area where these deposits are big enough, they're shallow, they're stratabound deposits, not porphyry, meaning they can be developed quickly, easily, with a lower capex. And this is a country that wants to see them built. So this is an area where you could have a global impact with a new discovery. And that's where we're working. And then, of course, on the property, we have two different situations underway. We have an earn-in with KoBold Metals, which is super exciting. And they're going to be starting drilling here, I would imagine, fairly soon on this area called Dumbwa, which is an outstanding stratabound sedimentary hosted copper target featuring a 20-kilometer long soil anomaly that's 0.73% copper in soil at surface. I mean, it's just astronomical. But what we're working on and what we just announced is the beginning of our cooperative exploration plan with First Quantum. And that's super exciting. So we're finally underway on Kaziba. Kaziba is number one of two targets that we're going to be working on with First Quantum. And basically, we have an oxide blanket, if you will. So oxide copper is the very top layer of material that can be very high grade. Like in this case, it's very high grade. And this is material that we think can be mined and sent to Kansanshi very easily if we can prove up enough of a resource here. And we're very confident in that target. So working with First Quantum, ready to go.
Yeah, so let's talk about what's going to happen. Obviously, there's drilling going to be underway very soon. So how much drilling are you doing? And is it specifically set on that oxide blanket?
So this area in particular, Kaziba, again, Kaziba and Me2 are the two regions we're going to work with First Quantum. We just announced that we're starting on Kaziba. So Kaziba has what we call a mobilized oxide blanket, which you just referred to. So it's an area that is right at surface down to maybe 50 or 60 meters. It's detached from the original sulfide source. So it's an independent blanket of oxides that can literally be scooped up with an excavator and taken away to Kansanshi. And that's our goal, is to delineate something that can work for them and as quickly as possible. And that's the very reason for the First Quantum cooperative exploration plan.
Yeah, 3,000 meters expected. And is this program going to take you a while to get done? Is it fairly quick and simple that Quantum's going to be doing?
Yeah, the plan is approximately 3,000 meters. As we know, those things can fluctuate a bit, but that's the goal. It's also going to include something called ionic leach sampling. So it's a very sophisticated version of soil sampling, geochem, that they're going to do over the target. Actually, there's two targets there now. So we're going to carry that out over those targets. and then a little bit of IP. So we're going to use some geophysics there as well. And the idea is to get material ready to go to Kansanshi as quickly as possible. Of course, Kansanshi is currently out of oxide copper. That means that they are stockpiling acid, and there's a big revenue stream that is missing from their mine plan right now on that basis. So we want to get this material ready as quickly as possible, and this program is designed to be fast, effective, and get that material to Kansanshi as quick as possible if we're successful. So, to answer your question, we expect this to be very quick, less than a few months.
All right. Sounds exciting. Look forward to following the story as it continues to develop. Adrian, thanks so much. Appreciate your time, and thanks for updating us on what's going on.
Thanks, Steve. Much appreciated.
All right. Adrian O'Brien, the Director of Marketing and Communications for Midnight Sun.